Hello viewers, this is Logesh Kumar from ClickDo and InfoZub. Today we are going to see about page speed optimization basics. Okay, the basics represent why a website loads slow and how to enhance it easily, right? Just with some plugins and some recommendation which you can easily adopt like within just 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can increase the page speed of your website. Okay, so let us get into the presentation. And before that, this video is only for new bloggers, right? Like very new bloggers who would like to understand how a website loads or how a website would respond towards a request on the web, on a web server, right? Let us get into it. So the very first thing is, why does a website load slow, right? Like it will be very frustrating if a website is loading slow, right? So let us see why a website would load slow. There will be too many resources, right? Like too many resources are called, like it can be some JavaScript for some widgets, right? Can be some JavaScript files for sharing buttons, like when you add some social sharing buttons, like like every individual share button would actually call for a JavaScript file, right? We can actually fix this using some plugins which will be dealing in the advanced part of this video, but as of now I'm just going to explain you guys like why your website is loading slow. This is one of the primary reason. The next thing is like too many CSS files. Okay, so especially when you're having some e-commerce stores, right, you will be having a website as a landing page in the front end, and then you will be having a store, something like domain.com/shop, and then you will be having a blog on it, and then you will be having some other landing pages. You might have designed some PHP for like people to subscribe. So as a whole there will be too many CSS files. Like sometimes some files would be called globally for all the pages, right? It may contain some redundancy, like some CSS files may not be used for that particular page, and if that is the case, like the website page speed will increase, for like website page loading time would increase, the speed is not really increased. Okay, the loading time will increase for the site because of calling too many CSS files which are not actually required for that particular page, right? Next one is like images are not optimized. Like this is a common scenario. We just go into Google, search for our keywords, pull some image, download it, and again upload it to our site, right? That is not a good way of doing it, right? And today I'm going to give you a solution of how to do it in an effective way, because like when your images are optimized, like images consume the maximum website size, right? When you're opening an e-commerce landing page, it will contain too many product images, and just think every image is of 200 KB of size. Like if you have around like 20 images, just think about the page size. So like the website page size would definitely increase. So in order to kill the size occupied by images, right, we can actually reduce the image size. We can optimize it and reduce the image size. So let us see. Like initially I will explain you what are the factors that cause the page speed, like which would affect the page speed, and then let me get into them, like resolving, like, and I'll give you the solutions for them one by one, right? Next thing that affects the website loading time is like code quality and redundancy. Okay, so if there are many redundant codes, it's not actually very good for a website. Okay, so the first thing will be like if you're using some free themes, and if you're using some like cracked themes or null versions of themes, they might have many redundancy, they may have some security flaws, or they do not actually do the task for which they are being developed for, right? So let us get into the resolving points in the upcoming slides. The next thing is time to first byte, right? This can be something new. So like most of the people, you would have heard this for the first time, right? So time to first byte is nothing but the time taken by the server to respond to the very first request, right? When you put a domain name, it will resolve to an IP address, and that IP address will be pointing to a server, and the data is being fetched from the server. So the time to first byte specifies how long it takes for the first byte to be received by the client on a browser. Okay, and it depends 100% on a server, right? Because if too many websites are hosted on a server and if they are active, the time to first byte for the the time to first byte for a website will be high, right? This is a killer, and it would definitely have a negative impact on the search results. Okay, so let us see like the initial delay due to latency, right? This is something, initial delay due to latency and download time of an image. Say the image is like 100 KB, right? If you are having a faster internet connectivity, the second one will be the case, like the initial delay due to latency will be the same. This is purely dependent on the server, and the download time is dependent on the internet connectivity of the user. Okay, so you can see that if your internet connection is fast, like this second image will be your scenario, the image will quickly load. But the latency, it purely depends on the web server. Okay, so next thing, so here is another image, right? You can see like this is the first byte, and the website would load and the page usability, right? So the page like utilizable, like when it comes to utilizable, it means that you are able to see the page, like you can scroll, you can navigate, and you can do something. And if the first byte, time to first byte is extremely high, the user would really get frustrated. Okay, this website takes a long time to load, right? But that's not the case. He might be having a very high internet connection, right? He might have a very high speed internet connectivity, and if your competitors website are having a very less time to first byte, the chances that the user would opt in for their services are very high, right? Because their website is responsive, they can click through more pages, they can actually get into the site more, like the navigation will be high on the site, they click, go to some other pages as well, right? So how to enhance page speed, like our simple solutions plus recommendations at a very basic level, guys. Okay, let's get into it. Like Minify JS, like into a single file or based on our requirements, right? It can be done with some plugins. Like in the next slide I'm going to tell you what are the plugins. Combine all CSS files into one. Yes, this is definitely possible. You just install the plugin, you just activate it, all the CSS files will be combined as well, right? But make sure if you combine all the files into a single file, then your themes might get broken, right? You have to check whether your theme is working perfectly after the combining. If it is working, everything is well and good, no problems. Image optimization, this is one of the important information that I would like to convey you through this video, because if you use this CCM image compressor, right, you can actually remove the metadata. Even if you download an image from the web, you can easily remove the meta information or any kind of information that has been attached to that image, right? And then you can do lossless compression, right? There are two types, lossy and lossless compression. Like lossy compression represents a compression in which the quality of the image is being lost to reduce the file size. In lossless compression, the quality of the image remains the same, but the file size will be reduced, right? So in this, CCM image compressor can be used to achieve both lossy and lossless, but I would strongly recommend you to go for lossless compression. Okay, and in the next video I will teach you how to utilize the CCM image compressor tool to achieve lossless compression. Okay, this will be an exclusive video where I will be giving each and every point, like how to open an image, what are the settings you have to give, what are the changes that has to be made for the image one by one. Okay, next, code quality and redundancy. You can easily get good quality codes from premium themes and frameworks, right? I would recommend you to go with Divi framework, right? Or you can opt in for any kind of premium theme which has a good developer support, because if you go for a free theme or a cracked version of themes, like you will face a lot of difficulties, right? So instead I would recommend you to go for premium themes in which the code quality is good and the redundancy will be very less if they are like a well established premium themes provider, right? You can just get into theme forest, or you can just Google search for premium themes for WordPress and you can just get the best out of them. Okay, next, time to first byte, right? In order to fix the time to first byte, at Seekerhost we have like a really exclusive and dedicated team working to manage the websites that are running on the server, right? We have something like railgun technology, right? You can actually just Google search what is railgun, like what is PHP Xcatch and things like that. I don't want to get into too much in depth, but still you can just opt in for seek a host and you can just give it a try for a time to first byte. You can just go for a very minimum plan, and you can just check the time to first byte between seek a host and your existing hosting provider, right? And then you can do a comparison, like how the time to first byte would actually increase the number of page views. Like you can contact Fernando, or you can just contact me and to get some reports of time to first byte in our servers. And if you would like to know more technical details about TTFB, stay tuned with our YouTube channel. Like we will be giving like more videos about each and every component, like each and every element or entity, which can be described more to have a better understanding. Plugins, like we have big confusion between W3 Total Cache and VP Super Cache. There are many things like VP Rocket. There are many plugins, but still the fundamental is same. It is all about how you customize it and how you utilize it. It is not about the plugins, because all the plugins does the same job, but it is about how they represent the options to the user and how the user is able to understand it and make the customizations, right? Because a single solution cannot be single solution for page speed cannot be adapted for each and every site. Each and every site has its own design, has its own application, it has its own set of code. So it purely depends on the website in which the plugin is being installed, right? So in the upcoming videos I will be using W3 Total Cache and VP Super Cache individually on different sites to achieve the same speed, and will give you a hands-on about how to change each and every setting based on your server, right? And then yes, page speed optimization, advanced plus hands-on. So stay tuned. The next week we are going to launch this video, which will be having an advanced section of optimization, like in-depth page speed optimization, along with the hands-on training of how to configure the plugins, how to configure changes on your server, like how to enable the railgun between like a CDN and your server to enhance the TTFB, and many more things, guys. So stay tuned. See you all next week. Thank you for watching this video. If you really like this video, subscribe to this channel, like our channel like clickdo.co.uk. We have a YouTube channel as well. You can subscribe to it and stay tuned. Thank you.